In a post-Activision world, a lot of people have been asking what's next. Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg had a great report with a few quotes, and there have been a few updates since everything closed about how Blizzard is feeling, how Activision is feeling. Let's get into it right now. So I think I'm going to start with some of the things that we have heard over the last few weeks. Let's go over this first. So basically, this is Matt Booty on the fourth curtain, and I saw this pop up a few places, but he said, we head into next year, 2024. We showed the game Ybarra and Towerborn at Gamescom. We've got Hellblade 2 that comes later. Our strategy of people can play the games they want with the friends they want on the devices they want, that all begins with those big communities that have formed around those games. In many ways, like, we don't own these games. Like, at best, we're sort of stewards of them, right? And it comes with a big responsibility to listen to the communities and, really build some of these bigger things in partnerships with them, right? I mean, they've been with the games as long as we have and really are such a big factor. So that was Matt Booty to the fourth curtain, and that was via Idle Sloth, who does a great job of collecting Xbox news. But he's talking about how they want to implement these games into their overall strategy over at Xbox. And I think it speaks a lot to the level of care that they try and give the properties. Now, we have seen some changes since the Redfall mishap earlier this year. As you know, Redfall came out. It was in a very bad state. And it sounds like Phil Spencer got the crew together based on the leaked documents from the FTC and said, hey, we need to make some changes. And those are being implemented slowly but surely. There was another post from, let me just find it here. There was another post that I wanted to talk about from Klobrille, who gave sort of a bullet point rundown of the Matt Booty interview. Go watch the full thing. I'll link to it in the description. Klobrille said Matt Booty on Xbox first party. Recently spent time at the Coalition, Gears of War team, and id Software to see project progress at these studios. Now, if you don't know, we're long overdue for a Gears of War update at some point. We know that the Coalition is working on some additional project, and I can't wait to see what they end up developing. It would be really great to see something from them beyond the tech demos, because we know that they worked on the Matrix demo, and I want to see more of what they are doing currently. He recognizes that Gears of War as a franchise has horror elements to it. Series is about brotherhood. Yes, that's true. Doom is rooted in mechanics and gameplay. Purest sort of expression of that kind of a shooter. Yep, lots of over-the-top violence, fun, snappy. I love that. It's important to Matt that all these studios connect to each other. One of the main goals for all Xbox studios is to create a diverse games lineup, for small games like Pentiment to big AAA such as Starfield and everything in between, not just focusing on some selected genres. Creativity at Xbox studios shouldn't be a possibility. It should be an inevitability. We have schedules and budgets and all these things, but ultimately it's about pursue the craft of our studios and make sure that other stuff doesn't stand in the way. Talk about first party games, schedule, and name drop Starfield, Forza Motorsport, Ybarra, Towerborn, and Hellblade 2, as I mentioned earlier. And in addition to that, they are on track for 4 big games by first party per year, plus other things in between. The project a studio tackles next isn't about what we need, but what the studio is passionate about. I love hearing that they are considering what the studios want to work on, as opposed to having to go through the same business cycles that are necessary to make games viable, right? If these studios don't start taking chances on what is next and what the next big thing could be, then we're going to get stuck in this cycle where we just kind of get Call of Duty every year and things aren't really innovating the way that they need to be. So I am very excited. Like, Clockwork Revolution is a good example. Klobrille puts together these great graphics, and he has In Exile there, and it makes me think about Clockwork Revolution and what's going to be happening there. You think about Playground, who's working on Fable. It's really, really exciting to see that some other studios get to take a crack at some of these properties and develop from there. But one of the best articles, and before I get to it, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. hit that bell to know when I post everything. First of all, let's go to this Tweaktown thing. I forgot about this one. In a recent interview with Famitsu, Phil Spencer listed some interesting metrics for Japan. Spencer believes that Game Pass PC will be a key asset improving Xbox's presence in Japan. According to the gaming boss, Japan's PC market has doubled, and the amount of Japanese users subscribed to Game Pass PC plan is up by 4x. Xbox Game Pass has an important meaning on Xbox. In particular, the growth of PC Game Pass is remarkable. The size of the Japanese PC game market has roughly doubled in the past 3 years, but the number of PC Game Pass users has quadrupled. Game Pass is growing faster than the market, which is great for the Xbox brand as a whole, Spencer told the Japanese video game outlet. That is via Famitsu, who was, and the top part is from Tweaktown. Again, I'll link to it in the description below. It's really interesting to see that Xbox is doing so well in Japan. And granted, more consoles have been moved for PlayStation in that market. Xbox is ahead on the PC market. And if they have this huge growth avenue for people to get in on things in Japan via PC Game Pass, that's going to be really, really good for Microsoft as a whole. Now, the Bloomberg article, let's get into it. This is great because this is Ybarra and quotes from the team and their reaction to being purchased. On Blizzard's Warcraft team, leaders scrambled to compile a PowerPoint presentation, as they would have in days past, detailing their vision for the future and the products they had in development. But when Spencer arrived at Blizzard's campus in Irvine, California, he told them something pleasantly unexpected. He wasn't interested in talking business. He just wanted to check out their games and meet their staff via Bloomberg. That's got to be so refreshing. So they're like, oh, we got to put all this stuff together. He's like, no, we're just going to have a big cookout and hang out and, sort of get to know everybody, get to know what's going on at the studios. There wasn't some big presentation required. And it sounds like, talking to Ybarra, there's a lot of hope with this new structure. Here's what Ybarra said. What they were trying to communicate to us was, this is another person at Blizzard, but here's what he says. What they were trying to communicate to us was really wanting to get to know us, said John Haidt, general manager of the Warcraft franchise. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're not coming in with a master plan. How can we help you? It was awesome. The article went on to talk about how in the past, because they were publicly traded, there would need to be some sort of accountability for things. And it's been difficult for them under Bobby Kotick because they have to meet these very, very thin margins going forward here. Blizzard staffers are particularly hopeful that the new regime will restore the studio's sense of autonomy. In an interview, Blizzard president Mike Ybarra said that Spencer had indicated that he wants Blizzard to be more like the independent studio it once was. I absolutely love that, Ybarra said. It motivates the teams. And that's what he has told Bloomberg. He's very hopeful that Blizzard can be the independent studio like it once was and just run their studio. Ybarra continued. In the 2 years he has been in charge, Ybarra said he had to run many decisions up the chain of executives at Activision. Going to Phil and saying, hey, can we do this? I think he would look at me and go, run your studio, Ybarra said. I do think our decision making will be faster. They're going to be able to just go to Phil and be like, this is what we want to make. And he's going to be like, I trust you, run your studio. They don't need to micromanage, but they figured out solutions to things like the Redfall situation. And it does sound like it's improving. I think I have one more. Ybarra said that on the heels of the acquisition, he still intends to have big teams working on the largest franchises, but he is also open to less mainstream projects, including a possible return for StarCraft. So if the franchise does return, Ybarra hinted that the next iteration could be in a different genre altogether. It's not me saying, go make a StarCraft game, Ybarra said. I need to have someone who has the vision and passion that comes with the idea, and I'll bet on that team. That's via Bloomberg. That's great. I would love a new StarCraft game. StarCraft 1 was one of the first PC games that I played really, really hard. So finally, that's everything that has happened like in the last week. There's more, like there's been some significant optimizations that Larian Studios has done in Baldur's Gate 3. But long story short, I just found it really heartening to see that the team at Blizzard is hopeful about the future for their brand, hopeful about the future for everything. And that is very, very exciting to me. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my content goes live. I do really appreciate it. I also really appreciate the members. Thank you so much to the members. Hit that join button if you want to become part of the membership team and support the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my previous video here. I'm really into Mass Effect, so I made this video about the Mass Effect franchise. You can check it out. And I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.